The galaxy had always been vast, mysterious, and full of silent stars. Among the countless systems of planets, moons, and asteroids, very few civilizations dared to explore far beyond their own borders. Life in the Orpheus expanse was quiet, measured, and careful. Alien races patrolled the space lanes, sending probes, analyzing signals, and reporting every anomaly. But nothing, absolutely nothing, had prepared them for what appeared one ordinary cycle in the dark void of deep space. It began as a small flicker on the scanners of the Cellin Federation, one of the most advanced and cautious civilizations in the quadrant. Commander Vryn stared at the screen, narrowing her luminous eyes at the strange readings. "It's huge," she whispered to her second-in-command, a tall, four-armed officer named Kal. "Nothing in this sector can generate energy at this magnitude, not even the capital ships of the Trellian Empire. It's abnormal." The flicker grew into a full blip on their monitoring array. The ship moved at a speed that defied conventional physics, fast, yet controlled. Precise. It did not drift like comets, or glide like natural phenomena. It had intelligence behind its movement. Someone or something was steering it. Kal tapped his claws against the console. "It's scanning. Look at the patterns. No known civilization uses this form of energy signature." Vryn leaned forward. "Run a structural analysis. See if we can determine what it's made of." For hours, the Cellin scientists worked in a tense silence, analyzing the readings. Their curiosity grew, but so did unease. Nothing in known galactic history matched this pattern of construction. Finally, the results came in. Vryn's mandibles clicked in disbelief. "It's human." The words echoed in the room. Humans, a species long considered primitive, barely advanced enough to explore their own system fully, now appeared in the deep void, commanding a warship unmatched by any alien design. The Cellin Council had recorded humans as interesting but harmless. They were known for their adaptability and resilience. But this was something else entirely. "Impossible," Kal muttered. "Humans don't have technology at this level. They barely manage faster than light travel." Vryn shook her head. "Then we've underestimated them." Deeply. As the hours passed, the human warship drew closer to the edge of known space. Its silhouette became more distinct. Even from a distance, it was massive, sleek, and engineered for efficiency. No unnecessary structures, no wasted surfaces. Every part of the ship served a purpose. Its hull absorbed the faint starlight, reflecting none, giving it a ghostly appearance against the backdrop of stars. It was terrifying in its perfection, but also impressive. The aliens could not believe what they were seeing. Not only was it human, but it was also purpose-built for something beyond exploration or trade. This was a warship, not a cruiser, not a transport, but a vessel designed for conquest. Vryn activated a visual array to get a better look. The screen expanded, showing a three-dimensional projection of the ship. Its engines glowed faintly, pulsating rhythmically, and intricate details ran along the surface, like veins of technology. "Look at this," she whispered. "It's alive. Not in a biological sense, but it's as if it thinks. Every part responds to the others. This is engineered intelligence." Kal's claws hovered over the controls. "We've scanned hundreds of ships, from dozens of civilizations. Never have we seen anything like this. It's almost human genius." The room fell silent. The Cellin Federation had long prided itself on its analytical abilities. Yet now, faced with the presence of a human warship, even their most experienced commanders felt a twinge of fear. Humans were a wild card. They had survived countless catastrophes on their home planet and had spread across nearby star systems despite overwhelming odds. And now, it seemed, they were returning with something that no one had expected. As the human ship approached, the alien council debated what to do. Some suggested sending a warning, Some advised preparing their fleet for defense, and others, more cautiously, recommended observation. Vryn considered all the options. She had served in the fleet for decades, and she had faced hostile species before. Yet none had struck her with the same unease that this human presence did. Meanwhile, inside the human warship, named Dauntless, the atmosphere was calm but tense. Captain Elena Royce stood on the bridge, eyes scanning multiple screens that displayed alien signals, navigational paths, and tactical readouts. Every crew member moved with purpose, operating in a harmony born of training, instinct, and trust. Approaching unknown sector. Scans indicate multiple alien civilizations nearby, the communications officer reported. They are monitoring us. No hostile action yet, but detection is confirmed. Elena's expression was unreadable. "Let them watch," she said. Her voice carried confidence, calmness, and authority. "We are explorers. We are protectors. But if anyone underestimates us, they will learn the hard way." The crew exchanged subtle nods. They had been prepared for decades for this mission, to reclaim humanity's place among the stars, to protect colonies, and to assert human ingenuity wherever needed. The Dauntless was more than a ship. It was a symbol, a statement, a challenge to the universe. Underestimate humans at your own peril. Back in the Cellin Council, alarms finally sounded. The human vessel had stopped at the edge of their space, hovering without aggression, yet exuding an undeniable aura of power. Diplomats and strategists scrambled, trying to make sense of the situation. How could humans, considered backward and weak, suddenly field such technology? Theories flew, ancient human knowledge rediscovered. Lost technology recovered from old colonies, genetic or cybernetic enhancements. None fully explained what they saw. Vryn stepped forward. "We must prepare for communication. If we attempt diplomacy, we may learn their intentions before we face their capabilities. We cannot allow fear to guide our decisions entirely." The council agreed, albeit reluctantly. A small envoy was assembled, led by Vryn herself. They would approach the Dauntless cautiously, make contact, and attempt to understand what humans intended in this quadrant of space. The journey to the human warship was tense. Every sensor pinged, every fluctuation in energy output analyzed. The crew of the Dauntless watched the approaching alien vessels, their movements precise, measured, non-threatening. Elena had instructed her crew to remain calm. Humans did not act rashly. They acted with strategy, with foresight, with courage. Finally, the alien envoy reached the Dauntless. A holographic projection shimmered in the void of space, a typical protocol for first contact. The alien commander, a tall, lean being with elongated limbs and iridescent skin, addressed the ship. "Humans of the Dauntless," the alien voice echoed in the void. "We detect your presence. State your intentions. Our quadrant is under strict protection. You are trespassing." Elena's voice responded through the communication system, clear, calm, and firm. "We are explorers. We seek knowledge, observation, and understanding. We do not intend harm, but we are prepared to defend ourselves and human colonies if necessary." The alien envoy hesitated. The words were measured, but the aura of the Dauntless was undeniable. Even in communication, the ship radiated control, intelligence, and capability. "You are more advanced than records suggest. How is this possible?" Elena allowed herself a small smile. "Humans have always adapted, survived, and grown stronger than anyone expects. Our technology reflects centuries of ingenuity, cooperation, and vision. Underestimate us at your own risk." To Snate, silence followed. The alien commander did not fully understand, but instinct told them that this was a species unlike any they had faced before. The human warship was not just a machine, it was a symbol of resilience, intelligence, and relentless ambition. As the Dauntless drifted through the sector, the aliens realized a new truth. The humans were awake, alert, and ready. They were no longer confined to their own small system. They had entered the galaxy not as mere explorers but as architects of their destiny, and the stars themselves seemed to bend to the promise of humanity's return. In the quiet of the void, the human crew prepared for the unknown. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would meet them with skill, courage, and the unshakable belief that humans belonged among the stars, not just as survivors, but as leaders, innovators, and conquerors of the impossible. And so, the galaxy held its breath. The alien envoy had not expected the response. They had seen humans as unpredictable, primitive, and harmless, barely able to defend their own planets, let alone traverse the stars with a vessel of such power. Yet here, hovering at the edge of Selin space, was a ship that defied every assumption. Commander Vrin's forearms flexed nervously as she stared at the screens. The Dauntless was moving now, but not aggressively. It rotated gently, almost as if observing the alien fleet. Its sensors reached into every corner of the quadrant, analyzing, calculating, and anticipating. Every movement was precise, deliberate, and frighteningly intelligent. "Scan all sections," Vrin ordered. "I want complete readings. Structural integrity, propulsion, energy systems, weapons array. Everything. We need to know what we're dealing with before making the next move." Kal tapped rapidly on the console. "It's unlike anything we've ever scanned. The hull is a composite of materials I cannot fully identify. Energy distribution is seamless, perfectly balanced. No weaknesses. It's perfect." "Perfect is dangerous," Vrin said, her voice tight. "Send a visual probe. Let's see the details before we make contact." A holographic projection appeared, displaying the Dauntless in high resolution. Every surface gleamed with silent purpose. Its engines glowed faintly, a soft pulse that hinted at immense power. Nothing protruded unnecessarily. Every curve, every panel, every sensor had a purpose. "It's alive," Kale muttered. "Not biologically, but as a machine. It adapts, reacts, anticipates." Vrin nodded slowly. "Humans, they always surprise us." Back on the bridge of the Dauntless, Captain Elena Royce watched the alien fleet with calm eyes. "They are observing," she said softly. "Let them. Observation is harmless. Threat is only danger when it assumes us to be weak." Her first officer, Lieutenant Samir, nodded. "They do not realize what we can do." Elena allowed herself a small smile. "They will learn soon enough. But let's not provoke them. We are explorers, not conquerors." Yet, the Dauntless shifted slightly, its sensors scanning each alien vessel in turn. The humans on board moved with effortless precision. Engineers checked subsystems, ensuring the ship's performance was optimal. Pilots practiced maneuvers in simulators, studying alien formations. Every crew member knew their role, and every role was critical. Meanwhile, the alien fleet scrambled to respond. Some suggested sending an armed squadron to intimidate the humans. Others urged caution, warning that these humans might be far more advanced than previously assumed. The council debated fiercely, but Commander Vrin's voice cut through the chatter. "We make first contact. Carefully. Diplomacy first. We cannot let fear guide us, or we risk provoking something we cannot handle." A small diplomatic vessel detached from the fleet and approached the Dauntless. Its hull was adorned with glowing symbols, indicating peaceful intent. The human sensors detected its approach but did not raise alarms. The Dauntless remained calm, hovering in silent strength, a shadow of immense capability. The alien envoy's voice echoed through the void. "Humans of the Dauntless, we come in peace. State your intentions." Elena's voice responded, clear and unshakable. "We are explorers. We observe. We learn. And we protect our colonies. We do not seek conflict. But we will defend ourselves and humanity if threatened." The aliens were shocked by the calm, authoritative tone. This was not the voice of a primitive species. This was the voice of command, of intelligence, of a species confident in its own abilities. Vryn studied the response on her screen. They speak as equals, as if they are masters of their fate. And the ship, it's a fortress, a weapon, and an explorer all at once. This is unprecedented. Cal's voice trembled slightly. They are not bluffing. The Dauntless could destroy our entire fleet if it chose to. And yet it does not. Elena's calm demeanor unnerved the aliens further. She continued speaking, deliberately slow, precise. We understand your fear. We do not underestimate your capabilities. We only ask that you do not underestimate ours. Humanity has survived against impossible odds. We adapt. We endure. We overcome. The alien envoy paused. Your records, they are incomplete. Humans were primitive. Weak. How? How is this possible? Elena allowed a small, confident smile. Humanity has always been underestimated. And we have always proven that underestimation is a mistake. In the alien council chambers, panic began to ripple. Intelligence reports, historical records, and centuries of observation suddenly seemed inadequate. Humans were no longer just a minor species in a distant system. They were a force organized, intelligent, and unafraid. Vryn shook her head. We must reassess. Everything we know about humans is incomplete. We cannot rely on old data. Every assumption may be wrong. Meanwhile, the Dauntless demonstrated subtle maneuvers. Its engines emitted short, precise pulses, scanning alien positions, probing for weaknesses not to attack, but to understand. The humans aboard knew that information was power. Knowledge of the enemy, or the observer, was essential for survival. On the alien ship, sensors detected subtle energy shifts, tiny adjustments in the Dauntless movement. It anticipates us, one officer whispered. Every move, every calculation, it is responding before we act. Allo. Every move. Yes, Vryn admitted aloud. It is as if the ship itself is alive. Not biological, but intelligent. And the humans are its mind. We are facing not only technology, but the genius of their species. As the standoff continued, Elena spoke to her crew quietly. Observe. Learn. Be ready. But remain calm. Confidence, control, and strategy. This is humanity's advantage. Her words were not arrogance. They were truth. Every human on the Dauntless had trained for this moment, and humanity's history had prepared them for challenges far beyond what the aliens could imagine. From surviving hostile planets, mastering scarce resources, and overcoming internal conflicts, humans had always emerged stronger. The alien envoy, finally realizing the gravity of the situation, attempted a more measured approach. Humans, your vessel. It is unlike anything we have encountered. Your intentions must be stated clearly. Peaceful or hostile. Elena's eyes gleamed with quiet determination. We seek peace, knowledge, observation. But humanity will always defend itself. And we will always advance. You may see us as fragile now, as primitive, but we are not. Underestimate us at your own peril. A silence fell across the void. The aliens had expected fear, hesitation, maybe even surrender. Instead, they faced confidence, capability, and strategy. The Dauntless was not just a ship, it was a statement. Humans had returned to the stars not as victims or minor explorers, but as a force capable of shaping their own destiny. Vryn exhaled slowly. We need to proceed carefully. Diplomatic protocols, but remain ready. If humans choose aggression, we may not survive. Their intelligence is extraordinary. Inside the Dauntless, Elena turned to her tactical officer. Prepare for any outcome. But remember, we are humans. We do not retreat. We do not surrender. We adapt. We overcome. And we will always find a way. The alien ships adjusted their positions. They no longer advanced aggressively, nor did they retreat. Observation was the only option. They watched the Dauntless, noting every maneuver, every pulse of energy, every communication. And as they watched, a realization began to take shape. Humans were different. Not weaker, not primitive, not incapable. They were unpredictable, ingenious, and relentless. Hours passed. The Dauntless hovered in the void, calm, silent, observing the alien fleet as they debated and recalculated. Each moment of silence was heavy with potential, each second filled with tension and anticipation. Elena spoke softly to the crew. Let them think. Let them observe. They must understand that humanity has returned to the stars with purpose, precision, and strength. We do not seek unnecessary conflict, but we are ready for it. And if challenged, we will rise. Son, the aliens, after much discussion, finally attempted communication again. Humans of Dauntless. We underestimated your species. Your capabilities exceed our understanding. We wish to observe. But caution is necessary. How? How do you maintain control over such power? Elena smiled faintly. We are humans. We think. We adapt. We endure. And we always protect what we value. That is our strength. Intelligence, courage, and cooperation. These are the weapons no technology alone can replace. Vryn stared at the screen. It's almost inspiring, she admitted. A species so underestimated, yet so capable. If humans choose to lead, they could change the galaxy. Kal's voice trembled with awe. They are a threat. Yes. But a species like this, perhaps they could also be allies. If guided wisely. Elena's words echoed in the void, reaching all who could hear. We are here to explore, to protect, to endure, and to prove that humanity belongs among the stars. Underestimate us, and you risk disaster. Understand us, and perhaps we can all achieve more together. And in that moment, deep in the Orpheus expanse, a quiet truth settled across both humans and aliens alike. The humans had returned. They were prepared, intelligent, and determined, and the galaxy would never look at them the same way again. The vast expanse of stars stretched endlessly around the Dauntless. Its massive hull reflected only the faint starlight, casting a ghostly shadow across the void. Inside the warship, the human crew moved with the quiet precision of a living organism. Every action, every command, every glance was part of a carefully coordinated rhythm. Captain Elena Royce stood on the bridge, her eyes scanning the holographic displays. Information flowed seamlessly. Energy readings, alien fleet positions, communications logs, and sensor analyses. Despite the vast complexity, Elena remained calm, her presence a center of focus for her crew. Status report, she ordered. Lieutenant Samir, her first officer, responded immediately. All systems are optimal. Hull integrity at 100%. Shields stable. Propulsion reserves at maximum. The alien fleet is observing us, but no aggressive maneuvers detected. Elena nodded. Good. Prepare a demonstration of our capabilities. I want them to understand who we are, not just hear it. Observation alone may not convey the reality of human ingenuity. On the alien side, Commander Vryn and her council watched nervously as the Dauntless executed subtle, yet precise maneuvers. The ship rotated, shifted, and adjusted its position with fluidity that seemed almost intelligent. Alien scientists struggled to understand the logic behind its movements. It was not random. It was purposeful. Every adjustment, every pulse of energy, every shield modulation had intent. It's coordinating with some unseen mind, one officer whispered. The humans control the ship as if it's an extension of themselves. Every system works in perfect harmony. Vryn frowned. They are not just a species that survived. They are architects of their destiny. We have underestimated them. Far too long. Inside the Dauntless, Elena addressed her crew. Prepare the subspace communication arrays. We will transmit a demonstration of our capabilities. Not to threaten, but to explain. Humans have always faced challenges, and we have always risen to them. Let this be a clear message. The crew activated the arrays, and the Dauntless projected a holographic display into subspace, visible to the alien fleet. The display showed Earth, the human colonies, and historical events. Humanity surviving floods, storms, natural disasters, and conflicts. Always finding ways to adapt and overcome. Images of human engineers building massive machines, scientists exploring the universe, and explorers charting unknown regions flashed in sequence. The Alien Council watched in awe. They had studied humanity for centuries, but these images revealed a depth of resilience, intelligence, and resourcefulness they had never imagined. Vryn whispered. They have always been underestimated. And they have always proven their strength. Elena's voice then broadcast clearly, reaching the alien observers. We are humans. We endure, we adapt, and we innovate. The Dauntless is not just a ship. It is the culmination of centuries of human ingenuity. Every system, every module, every technology has been designed for exploration, protection, and, if necessary, defense. We do not seek conflict, but we are prepared to defend what is ours and what we protect. The alien commander hesitated. Defense or conquest? Elena smiled faintly. We protect, we reclaim, and when required, we overcome. The Dauntless represents humanity at its best. Intelligent, adaptable, courageous. You have witnessed only a fraction of our capabilities. Do not mistake restraint for weakness. Vryn leaned back in her chair, struggling to process the information. They are a marvel, a species that was written off, dismissed, and ignored, yet they return with such strength, coordination, and confidence. This changes everything. On board the Dauntless, Elena activated the tactical display. Without aggression, the ship demonstrated its abilities. Evasive maneuvers around simulated hazards, energy redirection systems absorbing and dispersing power flows, and adaptive shields that reconfigured in response to hypothetical attacks. Every action was deliberate, precise, and awe-inspiring. Samir observed the alien response through the sensors. They are stunned. They do not understand how our systems operate, nor can they predict our strategy. They are realizing that humans are more than they expected. Elena nodded. Let them realize. Humans have always been underestimated. Every challenge we faced, every obstacle we overcame, has made us stronger. The galaxy must understand that humanity is not weak. Humanity is relentless. Meanwhile, in the alien fleet, reports streamed in from scientists and analysts. Energy outputs, structural integrity, and adaptive technology were all beyond comprehension. They had expected an advanced ship, but not this level of sophistication. Every subsystem seemed to communicate with every other, adjusting in real time to hypothetical threats. Vryn muttered to herself. It's alive. Not biologically, but in its coordination, intelligence, and adaptability. It is alive. Kal, standing beside her, added, and the humans, they are its mind. Their intelligence is inseparable from the ship. The Dauntless does not just respond to commands, it anticipates, plans, and adapts with insight that surpasses anything we have seen. Elena turned her attention to the crew. Prepare for a controlled encounter. We will allow them to approach closer. Observation is important, but mutual understanding is key. Humanity grows stronger not through isolation, but through intelligent engagement with others. The Dauntless shifted its position slightly, allowing a controlled approach by a small alien vessel. The alien commander projected a holographic image of themselves, their expression one of cautious curiosity. You humans. Your vessel. It is more advanced than we imagined. We feared a threat. But now, we see intelligence, coordination, and restraint. What is your mission? Elena responded calmly. Our mission is exploration, protection, and preparation. Humanity has grown beyond simple survival. We seek to understand the universe, protect our colonies, and ensure the safety of our species. The Dauntless is a tool, a protector, and a symbol of our capabilities. We are humans, and we will always rise to meet the challenges before us. The alien commander studied her words carefully. You speak of protection, but your power is immense. You could conquer entire systems if you wished. Why restraint? Elena's eyes were firm, unwavering. Strength without wisdom is dangerous. Humanity has always known that power is best used to protect, to adapt, and to endure. We do not seek conquest for its own sake. We seek progress, safety, and the survival of our people. But we are prepared for any challenge, and if anyone doubts us, they will learn the consequences. Back in the alien council chambers, Commander Vryn leaned back, trying to absorb the reality of what they faced. Humans, they are not just survivors, they are innovators, strategists, and leaders. Their technology, their coordination, and their restraint make them a species unlike any we have encountered. Kale nodded. They could shape the balance of power in the quadrant. If they choose, they could lead, protect, or dominate. And yet, they show restraint. That is the mark of intelligence, not recklessness. Elena allowed the demonstration to continue. The Dauntless performed maneuvers that showed both defensive and offensive potential without harming a single alien vessel. Its shields shifted, its engines pulsed, and energy systems flowed in patterns that were both beautiful and intimidating. Every movement conveyed purpose and precision. Lieutenant Samir spoke quietly to Elena. They are in awe. They do not yet understand the limits of our capabilities, but they are beginning to grasp the reality of humanity. Elena nodded. That is enough for now. Understanding grows over time. Today, they must see that humans are not weak, not primitive, not easily dismissed. Humanity has returned to the stars, and we will shape our destiny with intelligence, courage, and unity. Hours passed in tense observation. The alien fleet maintained a respectful distance, analyzing every detail of the Dauntless. They communicated quietly among themselves, debating what they had seen. Some argued that humanity could be dangerous if provoked. Others suggested cautious alliance, recognizing the potential benefit of a species so capable yet restrained. Vryn finally spoke aloud. We must reconsider our approach to humans. They are no longer a minor species in a distant system. They are formidable, intelligent, and adaptable. If we treat them as threats, we risk conflict. If we treat them as allies, we gain wisdom and cooperation beyond anything we imagined. Inside the Dauntless, Elena turned to her tactical officer. They will want to understand us more. Answer honestly, with clarity. Show them the strength of human intelligence, the power of our adaptability, and the wisdom of our restraint. The aliens projected a series of questions through subspace, seeking to understand humanity's technology, strategy, and philosophy. Elena answered each with careful precision, explaining how humans innovate, adapt, and endure. She detailed the purpose of the Dauntless: exploration, protection, and preparation. Every response reinforced the notion that humans were a species not to be underestimated, a species that balanced strength with wisdom. As the encounter drew to a close, the alien envoy projected one final message. Humans of the Dauntless, we no longer see you as minor observers. We see intelligence, capability, and wisdom. Your species is extraordinary. We wish to continue dialogue, to understand your purpose, and to learn from your approach. Elena allowed herself a small, confident smile. We are humans. We will continue to explore, to protect, and to endure. And perhaps, together, we can achieve more than any of us imagined. In the void of space, both humans and aliens understood a new truth. Humanity had returned, not as a species to be ignored or dismissed, but as a force of intelligence, resilience, and capability. The Dauntless was more than a ship, it was a statement. Humans were awake, alert, and ready. And the galaxy would never look at them the same way again. For the first time in centuries, a ripple of respect, awe, and cautious hope spread through the stars. Humanity had revealed itself, and the universe had begun to understand. The stars stretched endlessly in every direction, silent witnesses to the presence of the Dauntless. The human warship hovered at the edge of the Orpheus expanse, its hull gleaming faintly in the dim light of distant suns. It had been days since the first contact with the alien fleets, yet the galaxy still seemed to hold its breath. Across multiple star systems, the presence of the Dauntless sparked curiosity, fear, and awe. Inside the ship, Captain Elena Royce stood on the bridge, surveying the galaxy with calm authority. Her crew moved with the practiced precision of soldiers, engineers, and explorers, all in one. Every display, every sensor, every console contributed to a single purpose: ensure humanity's safety and assert its rightful place among the stars. "Reports?" Elena asked, her voice steady. Lieutenant Samir spoke immediately. "All systems nominal. Alien fleets are maintaining observation positions. No aggression detected, but communications continue. They are analyzing every action we take." Elena nodded. "Good. Continue monitoring. Our presence alone is enough to remind the galaxy that humanity is not to be underestimated. We will not strike first, but we will not retreat." Meanwhile, across the alien fleets, the Council met in urgent sessions. Commander Vryn paced in the center of the chamber, her forearms moving rapidly as she gestured toward the data screens. "We face a species unlike any we have encountered. Humans are not merely explorers, they are architects of strategy, intelligence, and survival. The Dauntless demonstrates capabilities far beyond any recorded technology. And yet, they exercise restraint. That restraint is not weakness. It is intelligence." Kayal, her second in command, replied, "They could destroy us if they wished. Entire fleets, yet they do not. They demonstrate power without aggression. They choose diplomacy, observation, and calculated engagement. We must understand them, or we risk disaster." Vryn exhaled, her bioluminescent skin flickering with tension. "We cannot approach them as before. We must treat them with respect, but also caution. Humans are unpredictable, adaptable, and extraordinary. If provoked, their retaliation would be swift and devastating." Back on the Dauntless, Elena activated the subspace communication arrays. The ship transmitted a message visible to all nearby civilizations, a demonstration of human resilience, ingenuity, and unity. Images of human history, survival, and achievement appeared across the galaxy. Planets recovering from natural disasters, colonies thriving on harsh worlds, humans cooperating to overcome impossible odds. Every image was a testament to humanity's endurance. Samir watched the alien responses through sensors. They are stunned. They cannot believe what they are seeing. Our restraint, intelligence, and coordination are beyond their expectations. Elena allowed herself a small, proud smile. They will remember this. Humanity is not just alive, we are awake, aware, and ready. The galaxy must understand that humans are a force to be reckoned with. The alien fleets, after hours of debate, finally issued a formal response. Their message, transmitted through subspace, carried a tone of cautious respect. "Humans of the Dauntless, we recognize your capabilities and intelligence. Your species exceeds our understanding. Your restraint demonstrates wisdom, and your power commands attention. We wish to establish dialogue and assess your intentions. The galaxy is uncertain how to approach a species such as yours. WWWW. Elena's voice replied clearly, calm but firm. We are humans. We seek understanding, exploration, and the protection of our people and colonies. We do not seek unnecessary conflict, but we will defend ourselves and humanity if threatened. Intelligence, courage, and cooperation guide our actions. Underestimate us, and the consequences will be severe. Understand us, and perhaps the galaxy will benefit from human ingenuity. The alien council was stunned. They had never faced a species with such clarity, confidence, and balance. Every word conveyed a mix of restraint and determination. Humanity had returned not as a minor species, but as a presence impossible to ignore. Days turned into weeks, as humans and aliens maintained cautious contact. The Dauntless continued to demonstrate its capabilities. Advanced defensive systems, adaptive shields, energy distribution, and precise maneuvering. Yet it never attacked. Every demonstration was a lesson in strategy, intelligence, and capability, showing what humans could achieve when united and focused. The galaxy began to take notice. Civilizations that had once ignored humanity now reconsidered. Reports spread across star systems. Humans had returned, equipped with a warship engineered for perfection, commanded by a species intelligent, resilient, and fearless. Across councils, fleets, and academies, the word Dauntless inspired both awe and caution. Inside the Dauntless, Elena addressed her crew. We have shown restraint, intelligence, and capability. But this is only the beginning. Humanity must establish its presence, not through fear, but through innovation, protection, and leadership. We will continue to explore, to defend, and to demonstrate what humans can achieve together. Samir nodded. They are beginning to understand. Our reputation is spreading faster than any fleet could travel. Humans are no longer a minor presence. We are becoming a symbol. Elena turned her attention to the alien fleets. We offer peace, but we are prepared for any challenge. Observe, learn, and respect us. The galaxy must know that humans are capable of shaping their own destiny, and we will do so with intelligence, courage, and unity. The aliens continued to analyze and discuss. They realized that humanity's strength lay not only in technology, but in unity and adaptability. Humans had survived impossible odds on their home planet, overcome scarcity, and thrived in hostile environments. The Dauntless was merely a reflection of the species itself, intelligent, strategic, and resilient. Commander Vryn finally spoke. We must reconsider everything. Humans are no longer a species to be underestimated. They could lead, protect, or dominate. We must approach them with caution, respect, and understanding. Any misstep could be catastrophic, Kal added. And yet, perhaps they could be allies. Their intelligence, strategy, and adaptability could benefit all who respect them. Humans do not strike without reason, but they excel when challenged. Cooperation with them could bring advancement beyond our imagination. Elena, aware of the alien deliberations, made a decision. She activated the Dauntless's long-range communication system and broadcast a message across the quadrant. To all civilizations observing us, humanity has returned to the stars. We do not seek needless conflict. We do not seek domination. But we are prepared for any challenge. And we will protect our people, our colonies, and our knowledge. Intelligence, courage, and cooperation define humanity. Respect these principles, and perhaps we can achieve great things together. Doubt them, and you will see what humans can accomplish when united and determined. Across star systems, the message echoed, reaching councils, fleets, and academies. Alien observers debated the implications. Humanity was no longer a minor presence, they were a force capable of influencing the balance of power across the galaxy. Every civilization had to reconsider how they perceived this once overlooked species. Inside the Dauntless, Elena addressed her crew once more. The galaxy is watching. Our actions, our restraint, and our intelligence are being observed. This is an opportunity to demonstrate what humanity truly represents: courage, innovation, and unity. We must continue to be worthy of that observation. The crew responded with a quiet determination. Every engineer, pilot, and strategist understood their role. The Dauntless was more than a ship. It was a statement of human potential, a symbol of what could be achieved when individuals worked together for a common purpose. Weeks later, the first alien ambassadors boarded the Dauntless. They came cautiously, expecting aggression, but found order, intelligence, and confidence. The ship itself seemed alive, responding to its crew with flawless precision. The humans demonstrated their technology, strategy, and philosophy. Every system, every maneuver, every decision reflected a species that had survived and thrived against impossible odds. One ambassador, a tall being with translucent skin, spoke after observing the ship and crew. "Humans, you are extraordinary. Your technology, your intelligence, and your coordination surpass our understanding. Yet you exercise restraint. You teach without harming, show power without aggression. This is remarkable." Elena nodded. "That is humanity. We adapt. We endure. We protect. And we seek progress. Not destruction. But if challenged, we respond with intelligence, courage, and unity. That is the nature of our species." The ambassadors returned to their fleets, carrying a new understanding of humanity. Across the galaxy, the reputation of the Dauntless and its crew grew. Humans were no longer a curiosity, they were a symbol of possibility, resilience, and strategic mastery. In the following months, the Dauntless continued its mission. Humans explored unknown systems, established communication with civilizations long isolated, and demonstrated that humanity's return was not a threat, but an opportunity. Every encounter reinforced a new truth. Humans were capable, intelligent, and relentless in their pursuit of knowledge and survival. Finally, as the Dauntless prepared to leave the Orpheus expanse, Elena addressed the galaxy one last time before moving deeper into uncharted space. Humanity has returned. We are awake, alert, and ready. We do not seek conflict, but we will defend what we protect. We will explore, innovate, and endure. The stars belong to all who seek knowledge, courage, and unity, and humanity is among them. Respect our strength, learn from our wisdom, and perhaps the galaxy will become stronger together. And with that, the Dauntless activated its engines, gliding silently into the unknown. Across the galaxy, the message resonated. Humans were no longer a minor species. They were a force, a symbol, and a reminder that intelligence, courage, and cooperation could shape the fate of worlds. The stars themselves seemed to acknowledge humanity's return. Every observer, every fleet, every council understood a simple truth: underestimate humans, and you risk disaster. Recognize their ingenuity, and the galaxy could flourish. Humanity had awakened. The galaxy had taken notice. And the story of the Dauntless was only the beginning.